Hello, everyone. I just read heard on a video that the National Urban League has ushered a warning that Black people in America is in a state of emergency. That's mighty strange that when you have a state of an emergency, where's the flashing lights? Where's the writing on the bottom of the screen? Where are the Black leaders screaming this out? Well, so how can you call that an emergency? When you on CBS, the president of the National Urban League was on CBS saying that because this madman administration is dismantling so much that was supposed to benefit Black people. And you know what I say? We've always been in a state of emergency. Why do they have to wait till stuff gets so bad before they try to do something about it? We should have never stopped doing nothing about it. Our emergency started the day the white man came out of the Caucasus Mountains and start dismantling civilization with their greed and their cold-heartedness. Remember, white people come from the cold, and they are cold-blooded, cold-hearted. Now, you can say, and you can say it about anybody, all races, they have done good. And it's a shame that they can't do good all the time. And we need to really stop. If we would just never really got involved with them in their politics. I know it's hard to do, and it's probably impossible to do, but we would be further ahead. We would not be depending on their DEI initiative. We wouldn't have had to go beg them for money, jobs. We would never have to lower our standards to live among them if we had just stayed separated. I believe separated but equal is the way it was intended to be. This world is too big to have to live under a tyrant, a dictator, a genocide homomaniac that feeds on people's pain and suffering, that is bloodthirsty, that wants to see the Black and brown people back in servitude. How did it get this way? It got this way because we let it get that way. Because we were so busy partying, thinking that we free now, thinking that we got it going on, and listening to these rich Black folks and supporting their ignorant ass shows and listening to their garbage music. Now they just struck down all our leaders, all the ones that had a revolutionary mindset. Now we stuck with fame chasing bootlegging, licking leaders. Now, they always bring up that uh, um, I have a dream speech, and they don't break it down. That speech was really geared to the white man. That I have a dream that you'll wake up and see the path that you're going down, because when you're gonna hit that spot, and all your crap is gonna be taken out, just like that bomb you dropped on Hiroshima. Okay, so as far as that state of emergency, and what, we are just sitting back. Everybody telling us how bad it is. Everybody's telling us we're headed for a train wreck. We run into a brick wall. Because, see, that's what they do. They just sit there, look at you, run into the brick wall, and say, oh, I knew it. What we going to do about it? They keep saying, go to the one that made the problem to solve the problem. You don't do that. We've been trying that for years. I was just reading about the Pepsi versus Ferguson, I think, or something like that, where about back in the 1880s, this guy who was half black, half white, he bought first a ticket to a ride in the white people section. And when they found out he had black in him, they told him, no, you got to get back to where the black's at. And he said, no, he has a first row ticket. And he went to court and he won, because they said that separate but equal, which none of it was equal. Their stuff was always better than the black people's stuff. So, we have always been fighting for equality, and we should have never stopped. We shouldn't have never act like anything was equal. And see, we start teaching our kids and showing our kids that, oh yeah, you cool now. You ain't got to fight. And see, the fight, it just stopped at this people, where it should have been everywhere. We should have been raising warriors for change every generation. We wouldn't have had all these uh black men and women in jail on drugs and alcohol. See, my parents didn't drink or drive or smoke. My father smoked and drank when he was young, but when I was growing up, they didn't drink and smoke. Their life was making money, buying pretty stuff, instead of making sure their kids carried on the torch of warrior of change, raising kids to be revolutionary. But that didn't happen, and that didn't happen in a lot of homes. That's why my generation's kids are out there killing each other. and their kids. My kids are out there shooting one another at 13, going to prison. We have 13, 14-year olds in prison for the rest of their life. Now they keep talking about rallying to get our voices together and make changes and policy changes. And no, we've been doing that forever. What happened? You had black MAGAs to help elect a racist criminal, twice impeached, 34 counts of felony, and now he's called a pedophile. And you think it's just like it was in the 19th century. You have blacks out here that will go tell the masters that you're getting ready to run away. So what we need to do is focus on ourselves. We're going to have to do some really internal. We need to ask some serious questions. We need to go back to school because we get mad about the wrong stuff. Because they talking about taking Black history out of the schools. They talking about rollback DEI. We shouldn't have never been worried about no DEI anyway. Because if you have to make somebody hire you, if you have to make somebody give you a job or let them into your school, you're still a slave. We're going to have to get schooled. And we're going to start building our own. We're going to have to make our own black nation. We need our own army. We need our own protection. Because we keep making that same mistake, thinking that they are going to help us. No, all that stuff that they put in place, all those policies and all that stuff, they can take it back. And they're going to always have in there some red tape. They're going to always have some loopholes. Mm-mm. Now, when we got that discrimination thing, and people that's handicapped, they start getting rights where people had to make accommodations, which is it's there shouldn't even been a problem. If you're in a wheelchair, you should have some kind of way of getting in a building. So, and that's what I'm saying. If we got to make these people be human, we need to leave them in their alien world. The emergency is we are still in an emergency. And we need to start getting out in our neighborhoods and sound the alarm 24/7. And I'm telling you, I went to an old neighborhood and I was shocked. I was hurt. I was in tears. I was like, oh my God, what has happened to this neighborhood? It looked horrible. The same old abandoned buildings, trash everywhere. People looked so distraught. I'm driving down the street and I see two black men walking down the street. Well, one was sitting, one was walking down the street drinking beer. We just don't know how serious the anxiety is being felt in this world. And I do believe a lot of these shootings and killings is directly tied to what this country is going through with this administration. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And please comment. Please let me know that you agree or disagree. And subscribe. And thank you for listening. This picture, doesn't it show you what civilization is supposed to look at versus what we have been made to live in? A city full of buildings and concrete. That is not living, that is surviving. To start listening with our ears, not with our heart. And we have to start reading more because everything that they're doing has been written down because they love to have a paper trail so others behind them could know what to do to stay in power.